Hey guys, what is up? This is Bettathon, also known as Favorite. I'm here to walk you through how to decode a PeerAssets transaction, specifically a DeskSpawn transaction. So this DeskSpawn transaction is specified in a .proto file that basically uses Google's protocol buffer. As you can see right here, the syntax stated is proto3. So what we're going to need for this, basically to give us a, we're going to be doing it in Python today, so to give us a Python output file based on this .proto file, we're going to need to compile Google's Protobuf. So let's go ahead and go over to the GitHub repository for Protobuf. As you can see right here, I'm going to go ahead and git clone this. So just grab this link, github.com/google/protobuf, git clone, and there we go. Okay, there are compilation instructions that you can find right here under C++ and installation instructions. Let's go ahead and click there. There are some dependencies that you're going to need, so if you don't have these or you're not sure if you completely have them, go ahead and do sudo apt get install these just to make sure. Okay, and the rest of the instructions right here are very straightforward. We can go ahead and run !autogen.sh. Oh, sorry, you got a CD into Protobuf. Okay, so let's go ahead and let that run. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead, but all I'm going to do are these following commands right here. So basically after this autogen's completed, we're going to run !configure make check sudo make install, and don't forget to do sudo ldconfig. So after you've completed those commands, it might take a while to make and make check. But after you've completed that, you can go ahead and pause the video now and wait for yours to complete. But after that's done, we'll go ahead and generate the Python output file from that .proto file. Okay, so now that that's completed, let's go ahead and go over to the GitHub repository for PeerAssets. So github.com/PeerAssets. Inside of the RNC, this might be subject to change as time progresses, but right now, the .proto file we're going to be using to create that Python output file is right here. Let's go ahead and click on it. I'm going to view the raw format. So if we just take this and save it as a, you can save it within this. So I'm going to go ahead and cd back into my PeerAssets folder. I'm going to do nano pa.proto. Just going to paste that in there, save it. Okay, so now we are ready to basically generate our Python file that's going to be used to decode these DeskSpawn transactions. So type in proto-c, all one word, and then we're going to do /python _out equals, and then you set the destination. So I'm going to go ahead and put mine in my working folder. And then space, and then define where your proto file is. So it's in our current working directory, so pa.proto is what I saved it as right here. So let me go ahead and click enter. So now that that's complete, I'm going to ls, and now you can see this generated Python file, pa_pb2.py. So let's go ahead and open up Python. So Python. I'm going to import pa_pb2. And after that's completed, let's go ahead and go to that PeerAssets challenge thread and grab that transaction ID posted by Roberts. Okay, so now that we have the transaction ID, we can do a few things. Let's go ahead and import purecoin RPC from purecoin_RPC import client. Node equals client testnet equals true. Okay, so now that we have node set up, and we can now go ahead and import op return. Sorry. So let's do from op return import all. Okay, now let's go ahead and do read. So we're going to type read quote. Let's put that transaction ID right there. Oh, sorry. You got to make sure to put node in front. So we're working with testnet. So this is the output right here, this string. So let's go ahead and take this string, and what we're going to do with this is the short name right here, as you can see. It says Roberts OG 100 PPC, real ones. And the rest of this is basically based on Google's Proto 3 syntax for Protobuf. So what we're going to want to do now is we're going to type in dec equals PA underscore PB2 dot capital D DeskSpawn with a capital S. So we're going to create a blank DeskSpawn. Like if I type in dec right here, it should be blank. Okay, and there's this function with the DeskSpawn called parse from string. So we're going to type in dec dot parse from string with every word being capitalized. We're going to go ahead and paste that string that we got from the read operator function, and let's press enter. Okay, so now if we type dec, we should see the values. So version is PeerAssets version 1. Short name is Robert's OG100 PPC, real ones. The number of decimals this can be divided into, this particular asset is 2, and the issue mode is 10. So for the issue mode, it's not stated in this proto file, but there's a pegged mode. Oh, let me go over these modes, for example. So the modes are defined as this. There can be a 0-0 mode, which is a no issuance allowed. There's a 0-1, which is custom, basically client-specific implementations, so for a wide amount of use cases in the future. There's a once, so an only one issuance transaction from asset owner allowed, and that would be 0-2. A multi is multiple issuance transactions allowed from the asset owner, so that's 0-4. And there's this one being worked on. I'm not sure if it's going to be put in the next iteration of the .proto file, but it's 0-8, and it stands for pegged. So this issue mode of 10 is basically, it's two modes, that pegged mode and then that once. So only issue once and then pegged. So there's multiple things that you can do with these DeskSpawn transactions, and we'll get into more of those in later videos. But this is just basically like a preliminary introduction to how to decode these. And say if you wanted to create your own deck, you would want to do this. Let's say deck 2 is going to be my deck, or let me just name it my deck, equals PA underscore PB2 dot DeskSpawn with each word capitalized. So if I did my deck dot version equals 1, I'm basically just saying that it's going to be PeerAssets version 1. If I did my deck dot short name underscore name equals, let's see, my asset. So now if I could already do this right now, but let me go ahead and finish this up. I'm going to do my deck dot number underscore of underscore decimals. I'm going to do 3, so it can be divisible up to 3 decimal places. And then I'm going to do my deck dot issue underscore mode equals, let's pick an, I want this in only once issued, so let's go ahead and do 2. Okay, so now if I typed out my deck, you should see the following properties. So this my deck has, if I do help my deck, I can see how to get that string that I would like, and it basically serialized to string right there. I could use that. So my deck dot serialize to string, and this is the string. So if I were to do an op return transaction, I would want to include this as my metadata. So that would be a PeerAssets transaction. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave it down in the comments. Come visit peercoin.chat or our Telegram. Please donate to Robert's and Peer Chemist's efforts, such as the PeerAssets Project, PeerKeeper, and many more. Take care, guys.